Chapter 1 System. You are listening at Audio. City, in an old community, the security guard looked drunkenly at the people entering and leaving the community in the guard room. The trash cans in the community have long been full, and excess garbage is piled up next to the trash cans, with flies buzzing around them. Qin Buyi looked through the window at home at the visceral, chaotic and poor scene of the community. Alas, the electricity, water and gas bills at home are almost gone. There are still a few days until the beginning of the month, and I have to pay off my credit card. Looking at the balance of only 2 yuan in his phone, Qin Buyi grabbed his hair anxiously. Before, I would never have thought that one day I would worry about these things. Qin Buyi laughed at himself. Compared with the past, life now can be said to be like heaven and earth. Entered the highest university in China, but gave up his studies in his junior year due to the incomprehension of his tutors and classmates. Start learning human anatomy, fighting, poisons, cold weapons, and firearms. In just 2 years, he became the most dangerous killer in Southeast Asia, nicknamed King of Night Hell. There was an accident in the assassination half a year ago, and the entire assassination was a trap designed around himself. Surrounded by enemies, he managed to escape with serious injuries. As a last resort, he used his prepared identity and recuperated in the nearest city. If you are seriously injured but cannot go to the hospital, you risk exposing your identity. In the past 6 months, Qin Buyi has used the knowledge he learned to recover, and the small savings of this backup identity have been exhausted. If that hadn't happened in college, I would have had a great campus life. Drop, a qualifying host was detected. Drop, the system has been bound. Drop, checking physical status. Who is talking? The sudden sound in the room really startled Qin Buyi. Drop, host, you have been bound to the most powerful system in the world. Drop, various functions of the system are being activated. System. Is it the kind of system in novels where you can become stronger just by lying down? All functions have been activated. Since the host is bound for the first time, there is a chance to answer the host for free. Ding, the host does not have enough permissions to answer. Then, let me change the question. Are there any benefits to binding you? Ding, the opportunity to answer host questions for free has been used. It feels like a trap. Don't slander the system arbitrarily. There will be punishment. Just give me a warning. Drop, start the first mission. The host is forcibly transmitting. Hey. I'm going to. Qin Buyi's eyes darkened and he lost consciousness. The destination has been reached and the host is forced to wake up. Qin Buyi, who regained consciousness, saw himself floating in the air 2 meters above the ground. Boom. What? The ground was filled with dust, and Qin Buyi got up from the ground in disgrace. Holy shit, where is this? What comes into view are woods, fallen leaves, grass, poisonous insects, wild beasts. The information has been sent to the host, please read it carefully. Blood-red words appeared in front of Qin Buyi's eyes. Half an hour later, Qin Buyi had a rough understanding of his situation after reading the information. The Luoxing mountain range here is said to be the place where meteorites fell from the sky. It is, kilometers away from the nearest city of Qin Buyi, which is called Qingyang City. Taking off his clothes, Qin Buyi saw the system imprint written on the document on his heart, a blood-red sword-shaped tattoo the size of a palm. Try to focus your thoughts on your heart, and 5 options come to mind. 1. Task 2. Personal information 3. Storage space 4. Kung Fu. 5. Equipment. Open the task panel. Main mission. Arrive at Qingyang City within 2 days. Task reward. 1.5 attribute points, erased if failed. Close the task panel and open personal information. Personal information is as follows. Name, Qin Buyi, cultivation, level 0.5, 10/- power, 0.5. Speed, 0.5. Stamina, 0.5. Attack, 0.5. Defense, 0.5. Luck, 0.5. There are various numerical values listed under luck, but all are 0.5 without exception. The obtained attribute points only need to be added to the cultivation level, and all other attributes will increase to the same value as the cultivation level. Is this the power of the strongest system in the world? Qin Buyi has read many system novels, but the cumbersome and complicated ways of adding points often make people dizzy. Close the information panel and click on the remaining 3 options. Storage space, skills, and equipment are all empty. Without complaining too much, Qin Buyi followed the direction guided by the system after adjusting his mentality. One day later, when Qin Buyi walked out of the Luoxing Mountains, his clothes were torn by thorns and other plants in the mountains. Ah! Finally came out. Qin Buyi looked at the mountains behind him and exhaled a long breath. Boss, someone is coming out. Hey, boy over there, come here. 2 strong men in black shouted at Qin Buyi. Looking at the cold light-emitting blade in the strong man's hand, Qin Buyi stepped forward bravely. Boy, hand over your valuables and leave your body intact. If you dare to be clever, you will not be able to survive or die. The strong man in black licked his lips with the tip of his tongue, and his expression of treating human life as nothing made Qin Buyi feel cold. You too, I don't have anything valuable on me. Qin Buyi explained. Boy, 9 out of 10 people who came out of the Luoxing Mountains are what you said. We brothers don't have much ability, and we don't want to take risks in the Falling Star Mountains, so we have no choice but to make a living by killing people and selling goods. Brother, what nonsense are you talking to this kid? Just kill him and everything on him will be ours. The strong man in black who spoke came forward, raised his sharp knife and was about to chop it down. Drop, post-temporary tasks. Temporary mission, survive for 10 minutes while being chased by 2 people. Task reward, 1 attribute point, erased if failed. Holy shit. Qin Buyi couldn't help but cursed in a low voice when he saw the temporary mission. The long knife was slashed at Qin Buyi's neck. In a hurry, Qin Buyi rolled around to avoid the fatal blow, grab a handful of sand from the ground and throw it hard into the face of the strong man attacking with a knife. Boy, you are courting death. Qin Buyi got up from the ground, turned around and ran towards the Luoxing mountain range. Second brother, chase. Damn boy, if I catch him, I will cut him into pieces. After running with all his strength for 5 minutes, Qin Buyi was panting from exhaustion. The 2 men behind him were chasing after him, and he would definitely die if he was caught. Relying on the route in his memory, Qin Buyi was faster than the 2 people behind him. Even if they exercise all year round, their physical strength will inevitably gradually decline, and the distance between the 2 parties will become closer and closer. Sweat quickly soaked through my clothes from the intense running. Who? Qin Buyi gasped, thinking of the blade emitting cold light, and his will to survive was at its greatest at this moment. Damn! How can this kid run so well? Ha! I'm so exhausted. If you catch him, you must torture him and let him die. Throwing away many complicated thoughts, Qin Buyi now had only one idea in his mind: he must persist for 10 minutes. Although I don't know what effect an attribute point can have, at this moment, I can only place my hope on the task rewards given by the system. The steps under his feet became heavier and heavier, and everything around him became quiet. Just when Qin Buyi was about to be overtaken by 2 people, the system's beep finally rang. Drop. 10 minutes are up and the task is completed. Drop, mission rewards have been distributed. Drop, trigger temporary task 2, the host's firm will to survive gives you a chance to survive. Please kill the 2 people who are chasing you next. Drop, the reward for the second temporary mission, a growth weapon and opening of the exploration eye. Failure obliterates. When Qin Buyi completed the task, he quickly clicked on the personal information panel and added the few attribute points he had obtained. Name, Qin Buyi, cultivation, level 1.5, 10/- power, 1.5. Speed, 1.5. Stamina, 1.5. Attack, 1.5. Defense, 1.5. Luck, 1.5. After adding points, the feeling of muscle strength fills the whole body, and all the physical strength that was on the verge of exhaustion is restored. Qin Buyi turned around and looked at the 2 men chasing him with knives behind him. Boss, why did this kid stop running? He must be tired from running. Go ahead and chop him to death. Why do I feel like this kid is a little different from before? That is a top killer. Qin Buyi originally had very good physical data. After this strengthening, all physical parameters are twice as strong as before. The distance was shortened, and the two men held long knives in their hands. One attacked the head and the other chopped off the legs. The fast slashing blade became very slow in Qin Buyi's eyes. The speed that was originally invisible to the eyes has now become very slow. This feeling of getting stronger is really good. His body was like a fully drawn bow, and his fist struck the chests of the two men with all their strength. Boom, that the attack came first, and the bodies of the two people flew out like rag sacks. Chong, that the long knives that the two men had thrown away after being attacked were spinning in the air. Qin Buyi stepped forward and casually held one of the long knives. Hey! Hey! That the sound of a long knife cutting across the body was heard, and blood spattered on Qin Buyi's face. The two strong men in black didn't understand until their death why Qin Buyi, who had been like a lamb waiting to be slaughtered, instantly turned into a lion that could tear people apart. Drop. Temporary task 2 is completed. The task reward has been issued. The exploration eye has been activated. Chapter 2 Murder on the Street. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Qin Buyi didn't feel any discomfort after killing two people in a short period of time. In my 2-year career as a killer, I have seen scenes more cruel than this. After reading the introduction of the exploring eye, I quickly understood the function of the exploring eye. Open your exploratory eyes and aim at a dead body on the ground. Name, Black Tornado, Cultivation, Level 0.6, 10/- Power, 0.7. Speed, 0.4. Stamina, 0.5. Attack, 0.8. Defense, 0.6. Luck, 0.1. With this probing eye, one can reach the state of knowing oneself and the enemy, and can see through no matter how clever the disguise is. Moreover, the scope of the exploratory eyes is not only for people, but also for rare treasures. It can also see through their fundamental details. This function is simply incredible. Qin Buyi sighed. Take out a square box from the equipment slot. Qin Buyi looked at the box in confusion. Is this the growth weapon? A box? There is a seal on the seal of the box, which seals the entire box tightly. Do you want to open it? Tear off the seal and the lid on the box opens automatically. A beam of light emitted from the box, and a variety of different weapons were placed inside the beam: knives, swords, spears, bolas, tridents. Without too much hesitation, Qin Buyi chose a long knife. Stretch your hand into the light column, hold the long knife from the light column, and take out the long knife. Killing blade level 1.5. 10/- Attack, 1.5. Introduction, a sharp blade that existed for killing, a killing blade that once made countless sentient beings tremble. To unlock all its secrets, you need stronger strength. Ding, the system has forcibly bound the killing blade to the host. Ding, this binding cannot be released. Ding, the attribute points of the killing blade have been shared with the host's cultivation level. Forced binding. Can't be released. What does this mean? Maybe growth weapons are like this. Unable to think clearly, Qin Buyi simply stopped thinking about it. The attributes of the killing blade are shared with my cultivation. It is not difficult to understand. When I improve my cultivation, the killing blade will also improve. Chong, he held the killing blade in his hand and drew it out of the scabbard. The blade exudes a cold light, and the most peculiar thing about this knife is that there is no guard, at the connection between the blade and the handle. Putting his fingers on the blade, a sharp tingling sensation came from his fingertips. If I had such a good sword just now, I could kill those two people even if my strength didn't improve. The blade of the killing blade in his hand suddenly began to shake and struggled to escape Qin Buyi's control. He increased the strength in his hand, and when the sword was struggling most fiercely, Qin Buyi's blood-red sword formed by the system imprint on his heart shot out a sword light and fell on the killing blade. The killing blade immediately stopped struggling. What's going on? Lord Eater, Qin Buyi wiped his sweat. Judging from the reaction of the killing blade just now, if it weren't for the system imprint, he would most likely not be able to control the sword. The killing blade was stuck on the ground. Qin Buyi stared at the killing blade for a long time and saw no movement from it. Slaying blade, from today onwards, I am your master. If you dare to devour your master again, I will throw you into the furnace and melt you into waste. After Qin Buyi said this, seeing that the killing blade still didn't respond, he pulled out the killing blade from the ground and rushed towards Qinyang City. After half a day, there are tens of millions of people living in Qinyang City. Looking at the vast and ancient city in front of him, Qin Buyi was shocked beyond measure. Everywhere you look is covered with dark red soil, and the city bricks have become mottled under the erosion of time. Looking closer, you can vaguely see the traces left by various weapons on the city wall. He squatted on the ground and dug out more than 3 feet of the ground with his bare hands. The soil on the ground was dark red. The deeper he dug, the darker the soil became and turned into a black-red color. How many people must die and how much blood must be left to turn the entire land into this? Judging from the various scenes outside the city, this city is not safe, but may be very dangerous. Drop, the main mission is completed. The task reward has been issued. Just after entering the city gate, the system prompt sounded, open the personal information panel and add the 1.5 attribute points rewarded by the mission to your cultivation level. Name, Qin Buyi, cultivation, level 3, 10/- power, 3. Speed, 3. Stamina, 3. Attack, 3. Defense, 3. Luck, 3. Killing blade level 3, 10/- attack. 3. All aspects of his body's data had doubled compared to before. Just as Qin Buyi was experiencing the changes in his body, 2 voices came. Hall Master, this guy is the one who killed Black Tornado and the others. Hey, boy over there, come here. When he heard Black Whirlwind and the familiar opening remarks, Qin Buyi understood what was going on in an instant. At this time, Qin Buyi was no longer the unarmed lamb he had been when he came out of the Luoxing Mountains. Stopping and looking towards the source of the sound, 2 figures, led by a young man with a hooked nose and sunken eye sockets. You were the one who killed my member of the Jiulong gang. The one who spoke was a young man next to the hooked nose. Facing the hooked nose, he was submissive and looked condescending when talking to Qin Buyi. Drop, main mission 2, destroy the Kowloon gang. Task reward, level, killing sword technique, 5 attribute points, failure obliterates. Drop, side mission, kill all the leaders of the Kowloon gang, 0/7. Task reward, 1 attribute point will be awarded for each Hall leader killed, and an additional 3 attribute points will be awarded after all are killed. Failure will deduct 10 attribute points. If the attributes are insufficient, it will be wiped out. Drop, temporary mission, kill the 2 people in front of you. Task reward, 1st level killing sword technique, 1 attribute, failure obliterates. Hey, I'm talking to you, did you hear me? Now kneel down and admit your mistake, then tie your legs and hands and follow us. Seeing that Qin Buyi ignored him, the young man felt that he could not hold his face, so he stepped forward and stabbed Qin Buyi in the eyes with a dagger. Be careful. Hook-nosed shouted. Have you finished talking? If you haven't finished talking, go to hell and talk. A bloodthirsty smile appeared on Qin Buyi's lips. Chong, the killing blade was unsheathed. Hi! Hi! Before the boy could react, the killing blade slashed diagonally across the boy's chest, and the sharp blade split the boy's body in 2. What? A painful scream came from the boy's mouth. You are courting death. The hooked nose pulled out the soft sword from his waist, and the soft sword attacked Qin Buyi like a spiritual snake. Qin Buyi turned sideways to avoid the attack of the soft sword and kicked Hawk Nose in the stomach, sending Hawk Nose flying more than 2 meters away. Cough. Cough. With your cultivation in the early stage of foundation building, I asked you how dare you kill my members of the Jiulong gang. Hook Nose said as he got up from the ground. Without wasting time, Qin Buyi held the killing blade and attacked the hook-nosed young man. The killing blade and the soft sword collided dozens of times in the air, and the hook-nosed young man blocked with difficulty while wielding the soft sword. Crack. The first crack appeared in the soft sword. Impossible, this is a foundation-building weapon, how could it break? The hook-nosed young man exclaimed. Click. Click. Pong. The soft sword was cut off by the killing blade. Laugh. Without the soft sword to block, the sharp blade instantly pierced Hook Nose's heart, and the shaking of his wrist directly shattered Hook Nose's heart. Without looking at the two lifeless people on the ground, Qin Buyi continued walking towards the city. Drop. Temporary task completed. The task reward has been issued. Drop. Side mission to kill all hall leaders, completed January 7th. The task reward has been issued. After Qin Buyi left, someone quickly took away the two corpses on the ground. The residents in the city were already used to this kind of life-and-death fights that happened almost every day, so they went about their business after watching the excitement. Recalling what Hook Buyi said about building the foundation before his death, Qin Buyi asked about the system in his heart. System, foundation building is what this world calls the first level. Yes. Ding. In order to facilitate the host to compare the local power system in various major worlds in the future, the cultivation annotation is specially opened. Please open the personal information panel to view it. Open the personal information panel and add the 2 attribute points rewarded by the mission to your cultivation base. Name, Qin Buyi, cultivation level, first level, middle stage of foundation building, 5/10, power, 5. Speed, 5. Stamina, 5. Attack, 5. Defense, 5. Luck, 5. Killing blade level 5, 10/- attack, 5. Chapter 3. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Open the skill panel, killing sword technique level 5, 10/- attack, 5. Introduction. This is a sword technique that was once famous in the heavens and was jointly created with the Slayer blade specifically for killing. When you become strong enough, someone will tell you the story behind it. Ding. The attribute points of the killing sword technique have been shared with the host's cultivation level. After killing someone, Qin Buyi seemed to be wandering around Xinyang City aimlessly, but in fact he was always paying attention to the tail following him. Waiting passively was not a good option at this time, so Qin Buyi decided to take the initiative. Inside the alley. Boom. A thin young man with mouse eyes was being pushed against the wall by Qin Buyi. Tell me everything about the Kowloon gang. Ahem, stop, I said. The young man said with blood on his face in fear. Qin Buyi kept what the young man said in mind, and then pressed the young man's head against the wall. Bang! This time Qin Buyi's hand was much stronger than before, and the young man fainted after screaming. After waking up the young man, Qin Buyi looked at the young man with an indifferent expression and said, "Say what you just said again." After repeating this several times, I finally got accurate and complete information from the young man. The Kowloon gang, a low-profile gang in Xinyang City, the gang leader broke through to the foundation building realm half a year ago, and his cultivation level is currently in the early stage of golden elixir, among the 7 hall masters under his command. The main hall master is the highest and is in the advanced stage of foundation building. The dead Hook Nose was the weakest, only in the early stage of foundation building. The other hall leaders are all in the middle stage of foundation building. When Qin Buyi left, the young man had vented more air than inhaled. Kowloon gang station. Snapped. The teacup fell to the ground and shattered into pieces. The leader of the Jiolong gang said in a gloomy tone, "Old 7 was killed in the street. This was a provocation to our Jiolong gang. Pass it on. If you kill this person, you will be rewarded with 500 low-grade spiritual stones." Yes, helper. In a courtyard in Xinyang City, Qin Buyi looked at the closed courtyard door and kicked it up. With a bang sound, the courtyard door was kicked open. A shirtless young man in the courtyard was listening to a report from his subordinates. Seeing Qin Buyi walking in, the young man's pupils shrank and he said, "It's you." "It's me. Are you the 6th hall leader of the Kowloon gang?" "That's right. I can't find anything after wearing iron shoes. I didn't expect you to dare to come to my door to see me," the 6th hall master said with some excitement. Chong. Qin Buyi quickly approached the opponent and unsheathed his killing blade. Laugh. The sharp blade scratched the 6th hall master's neck, but the 6th hall master had not yet reacted. Blood splattered everywhere, and the head of the 6th hall master flew up in the air. Too much nonsense. Qin Buyi commented in his heart. Drop. Side mission to kill all hall leaders, completed 2 out of 7. The task reward has been issued. After adding attribute points to his cultivation, Qin Buyi turned around and left the courtyard. In front of the brothel, Qin Buyi walked in. "Hey, little brother, come and play. Little brother, choose me, you won't regret it." The bolder brothel girls flirted with Qin Buyi, and some deliberately wanted to stick to Qin Buyi. "Get out," Qin Buyi said with murderous intent in his tone. Chong, he took out the killing blade and held it in his hand, and walked straight up to the 3rd floor, which was not open to the public. Shoo! Shoo! Opening the closed door, a man and a woman were naked and hugging each other inside. Ah! The woman's scream spread from the 3rd floor to the 1st floor. "Who are you? Do you and I have any grudges?" the man asked calmly. "The 4th leader of the Kowloon gang." "It's me, may I ask you?" "The person who killed you, go to hell to ask more questions," Qin Buyi said in a cold tone. Chong! Chong! Swords and swords flashed back and forth in the room. After a few rounds, all 2 people in the room died. Side mission to kill all hall leaders, completed 3 out of 7. The task reward has been issued. As soon as he walked downstairs, the thugs usually hired by the brothel surrounded Qin Buyi. "How dare you, you bunch of rotten fish and shrimps, stand in my way." Qin Buyi stepped forward and drew his blade across the thug closest to him. Blood gushed out from the thug's throat like a fountain. Laugh! The tip of the knife pierced the heart of another thug. His wrist shook and his heart was shattered instantly. Qin Buyi is as easy as a tiger entering a flock of sheep, chopping melons and vegetables. Within a few minutes, all the thugs present were dead. Similar scenes also occur in places such as casinos, Kowloon Gang Station. Report, the 6th Hall Master is dead. Report, the 4th Hall Master is dead. Report, the 2nd Hall Master is dead. In just 2 hours, 6 of the 7 leaders of the Kowloon Gang died. The Jolong Gang leader's face was so gloomy that water could drip from his face. He had already smashed almost everything around him that could be thrown or smashed. "Where is the lobby leader currently?" asked the leader of the 9 Dragons Gang. Report, we just received news that the man broke into the lobby master's residence, and the 2 are currently fighting. Let's go to the hall master's residence. If you dare to kill the 6 hall masters of the Jolong Gang, I will make that kid who has eaten the courage of the ambitious leopard live and die, the leader of the Jolong Gang said with hatred. Lobby host's residence, Qin Buyi had 3 wounds across his upper body, 2 on his chest and 1 on his abdomen. The injury was caused when the lobby owner, who had been well prepared, used a hidden weapon to take advantage of him when he first stepped into the courtyard. The hall master's condition was even worse than Qin Buyi's. His left arm was chopped off with a killer blade and was bleeding continuously. There was a knife wound that penetrated the front and back of his body only an inch away from his heart. Thinking of this fatal blow, cold sweat broke out on the lobby master's forehead. If he hadn't reacted in time, he would definitely have died under that knife. What a cruel boy. The hall master narrowed his eyes and looked at Qin Buyi. Qin Buyi pursed his lips and said nothing, looking at the hall master with an indifferent expression. Seeing Qin Buyi's expression, the lobby master trembled inwardly. How could the Kowloon Gang provoke such a ruthless person? Holding the killing blade tightly, pointing the tip of the blade directly at the heart of the hall master, he stepped forward. The hall master dodged the attack of the killing blade and punched Qin Buyi's heart. Qin Buyi's eyes narrowed, and he did not retreat to avoid the fatal punch. Instead, he turned his body slightly to the side. The lobby master's punch hit the edge of Qin Buyi's heart firmly. The sharp blade slashed at the hall master's throat. The hall master couldn't dodge and hurriedly used his only remaining hand to block. Chi! The only remaining broken arm was also cut off, and the hall master's painful screams could be heard. The remaining sanity kept reminding the lobby owner, run quickly, this lunatic who has been injured for injuries is invincible. Look at Qin Buyi's expression without any change after he withstood the punch that could have shattered his heart and killed him with just a slight error, as if the person being hit was not him. Cough! Qin Buyi spat out a mouthful of blood. Apparently, the punch just now was not as casual as it seemed. after wiping away the blood, he did not stop attacking because of the hall master's screams. Seeing Qin Buyi walking towards him like a god of death holding a knife, the last line of defense in the lobby master's heart collapsed completely. Don't kill me. I'll be your dog, I just ask you not to kill me. Ha, it's impossible, everything in front of you is just a fantasy. The lobby owner, who had a mental breakdown and fell into madness, cried and laughed in the courtyard. Qin Buyi did not take this lightly. That the sharp blade pierced the lobby master's heart, and the lobby master's eyes gradually dimmed. At this time, a voice came from outside the door, "Save one under the knife." That the leader of the Kowloon gang walked in with a calm expression, but his trembling fingers betrayed his turbulent heart. Drop, the side mission of killing all the hall leaders has been completed. The task reward has been issued. It turns out that he has perfected his foundation building skills. Why are you so bold? The leader of the Kowloon gang said in a hateful voice as he gritted his teeth. Qin Buyi had already added attribute points to his cultivation level as a reward for killing those hall leaders. At this time, Qin Buyi's personal information panel, name, Qin Buyi, cultivation level 10, complete foundation building, 10/- breakthrough possible, power, 10. Speed, 10. Stamina, 10. Attack, 10. Defense, 10. Luck, 10. Killing blade, first level, 10 tenths, can break through, attack, 10. Killing sword technique. Level 10, 10/- cannot break through without follow-up, attack, 10. After killing the Great Elder, you will be rewarded with 1 attribute point. Completing all the side tasks will reward you with 3 attribute points. A total of 4 attribute points have not been added. Add all 4 attribute points to the base. Breakthrough. Chapter 4, A Little Famous. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The body made a crackling sound, as if something was being broken inside. The breakthrough process was very fast, and a stronger sense of power than before filled my body. The breakthrough from the first level to the second level is a qualitative change. Compared to now, I was so weak before I had no breakthrough. Qin Buyi thought to himself. Open the personal information panel, name, Qin Buyi, cultivation level, second level, early stage of golden elixir, 14/50, power, 14. Speed, 14. Stamina, 14. Attack, 14. Defense, 14. Luck, 14. Killing blade, level 14, 50/- attack, 14. Killing sword technique, level 10, 10/- cannot break through without follow-up, attack, 10. Are you the leader of the Jiulong gang? Qin Buyi asked. From the exploration I learned that the opponent was in the early stage of Jindan, and his various values were slightly higher than his own. How is it possible? Just now, you completed the foundation building, and you broke through to the golden elixir in an instant? You must be hiding your cultivation. Faced with something like Qin Buyi's instant breakthrough that went against common sense, the leader of the Jiulong gang didn't believe it at all. My little friend, since you are in the golden core stage and you killed 7 of my Jiulong gang leaders, how about letting this matter be revealed? Said the Jiulong gang leader. It is obviously stupid to offend an opponent who has the same cultivation level as oneself and does not know the details. If the subordinate is dead, he can be trained again. If the opponent is in the foundation building stage, he will kill him without saying a word, but if the opponent is in the golden elixir stage, the leader of Jiulong gang will not allow him to think about it. This is the benefit of increasing strength, making the other party afraid of gaining an equal attitude. It looks like it's you. Qin Buyi ignored the Jiulong gang leader's suggestion. If he didn't kill him, the system would erase him. There is already hatred between the two sides, not to mention that Qin Buyi is not a womanly person. Seeing Qin Buyi's attacking stance, the leader of the Jiulong gang secretly cursed, madman. The first style of the killing sword technique, slaughter. Qin Buyi wielded the killing blade and vibrated at high speed. The killing blade, which was emitting cold light, revealed an evil and bloodthirsty aura during the vibration. This is the first time Qin Buyi has used the killing sword technique. The previous leaders of the Kowloon gang were too weak in Qin Buyi's opinion. It is so weak that it can be easily killed without using the killing sword technique. The leader of the Jiulong gang shrank. This sword technique, is dangerous and invincible. Qin Buyi's body exuded an extremely dangerous aura at this time, and the leader of the Zhulong gang had a premonition that if he fought hard with this sword, he would definitely be seriously injured or even die, without hesitation. The leader of the Zhulong gang turned around and ran away. He ran away quickly, and Qin Buyi chased him even faster. After the breakthrough, Qin Buyi's speed greatly increased and he was behind the Zhulong gang leader in the blink of an eye. Holy crap, what kind of monster is this? Why is it so fast? Seeing that he had no way to escape, a long sword appeared out of thin air in the hands of the leader of the Kowloon gang, and he turned around and bravely accepted the challenge. Qin Buyi held the long sword in his hand and slashed downwards. The leader of the Zhulong gang held his long sword across his head to block. Chong! The swords clashed fiercely. The huge force coming from the sword blade made the entire arm of the Zhulong gang leader holding the sword numb instantly. A lot of strength. The leader of the Zhulong gang gritted his teeth and resisted with difficulty. Crack! Crack! The bluestone paved ground under the feet of the Zhulong gang leader began to crack little by little. Snapped! The huge force was transmitted from the Zhulong gang leader to his feet, and the bluestone ground could no longer bear it, and burst scattered all over the courtyard. Cut! Qin Buyi shouted loudly, and the strength in his hand increased by 3 points. What? Dense beads of sweat covered the forehead of the Zhulong gang leader. What kind of monster is this? It's fast, powerful, and even has such great endurance. What the leader of the Zhulong gang didn't know was that with the improvement of the system, Qin Buyi's various values were extremely balanced, a monster with no shortcomings, and its attack power, defense power, speed, endurance, etc. can reach the extreme. Crack! The sound of the sword breaking was heard, and the leader of the Zhulong gang trembled in his heart. At this moment of life and death, breaking the weapon was tantamount to announcing death. Why are the weapons inferior to others? I give up, I give up, I give you all my wealth, let me live. The leader of the Zhulong gang begged for mercy. Qin Buyi said nothing, and the strength in his hands did not decrease by half. Kill me, the Tang family in Xinyang City will not let you go. The leader of the Zhulong gang said anxiously. The crack in the middle of the sword held by the leader of the Zhulong gang is growing. Click. Click. Pong! The sword was broken. Laugh! The sound of the killing blade cutting into flesh was heard, and the Zhulong gang leader was split in half from the middle. Qin Buyi took a long breath. Drop. Main mission 2, destroy the Kowloon gang, completed. The task reward has been issued. Add the attribute points gained from completing the mission to your cultivation level, and break through the killing sword technique that was stuck at the first level because there was no follow-up technique to the second level. Name, Qin Buyi, cultivation level, second level, early stage of golden elixir, 19/50ths, power, 19. Speed, 19. Stamina, 19. Attack, 19. Defense, 19. Luck, 19. Killing blade level 19, 50/dash, attack, 19. Killing sword technique level 19, 50/dash, attack, 19. If there was a second level killing sword technique before, the leader of the 9 Dragons gang can kill him instantly with one strike. Being able to kill the Zhulong gang leader so easily was due to the killing sword technique. Now the breakthrough power has undergone a qualitative change. Recalling the scene of killing the leader of the Zhulong gang, Qin Buyi had a clear understanding of his own strength. In the early stage of the Golden Core realm, no one could beat him, but he could also fight in the middle stage. Drop. The epic mission begins. Epic mission, obtain the star core in the Falling Star Mountains within 3 months. Mission reward, return to Blue Star, 10 attribute points, 3rd level killing sword technique, and awakening to the secret realm once failure obliterates. Drop. Main mission 3 starts. Main mission 3, go to the Tang family to obtain the Tang family's secret treasure, the star-fixing compass. Note, if you want to find the star core of the Falling Star Mountains, it is best to have the assistance of a fixed star compass. Task reward, 8 attribute points, open the system mall, failure obliterates. Drop. The preconditions for the war mission are triggered. Prerequisites for the war mission, choose to make friends with the Tang family or completely stand on the opposite side of the Tang family. If the host chooses to befriend the Tang family, the war mission will be converted into a side mission. If you choose to stand on the opposite side of the Tang family, a war mission will begin. Note, war missions are wars waged by one person, to kill, conquer, and plunder to become the strongest. Note, war missions are extremely dangerous. Star Core. Tang family. War mission, these three tasks are intertwined. If you want to obtain the Star Core, you must first obtain the Tang family's star-fixing compass. Before he died, the leader of the Jiulong gang said that the Tang family would not let me go if I killed him. Qin Buyi stood there and thought. Judging from the current situation, it is unlikely that we will have a good relationship with the Tang family. Even if we are on good terms, the Tang family will definitely not give me their secret treasure, the star compass. The most direct way to get the fixed star compass is to steal it. If we are so friendly with the Tang family, wouldn't it be unnecessary? What's not sure yet is how dangerous it will be after starting a war mission after standing on the opposite side of the Tang family. After figuring out the result, Qin Buyi pulled a ring off the ring finger of the right hand of the Jiulong gang leader's body. The weapons that the Kowloon gang leader appeared out of thin air just now are stored in this space ring. After breaking through to the second level, his thoughts condensed into spiritual thoughts, which penetrated into the space ring. The space inside the ring was about 1 cubic meter in size. Take out everything in the ring, some sundries, a bunch of spiritual stones, and a token, throw away the debris. There are about 2,000 low-grade spiritual stones, and the spiritual stones are placed in a system storage space. There is a big Chinese character Tang written on the front of the token. It seems that this should be the strength secretly cultivated by the Tang family. Chong, the blade passed by, and the token changed into two halves from the middle of the character Tang. Having decided to become hostile, Qin Buyi used this method to express his attitude to the Tang family. Inside the restaurant, Qin Buyi sat on the second floor near the window, with a table full of dishes in front of him. Qin Buyi has not had a good meal since he was teleported to the Falling Star Mountains. The news that the Kowloon gang was wiped out spread like wildfire, and this is the most discussed issue among restaurant diners. Have you heard that the Kowloon gang has provoked someone they shouldn't have provoked? From the gang leader to the 7 hall masters under his command, no one was spared. They were all killed in less than a day. Is it that low-class Kowloon gang? I heard that their gang leader just broke through to the Golden Core realm a few days ago. How could he still be killed? Ever since the leader of the Jiulong gang broke through to the Golden Core realm, his subordinates have become more and more arrogant. This time they are kicked on the iron plate. I would say the one who did it was also a ruthless person. This time the Kowloon gang is done. I just passed by the Jiulong gang station, and those gang members were preparing to take the valuable money and run away. Qingyang City, an internal meeting of the Tang family, the head of the Tang family, Tang Jintian, is rumored to have already reached the nascent Soul realm. 300 years ago, when our ancestors of the Tang family were exploring ruins, they received a fixed star compass and a piece of news. There is a star core in the Luoxing Mountains. By using the power of the star core, our Tang family can become a top-notch family. There are still 3 months left before the star core of the Luoxing mountain range will be born. This is related to whether our Tang family can rise. During this period, no mistakes can be made. Anyone who may have an impact on our Tang family's century-old plan will be killed. After Tang Jintian finished speaking, he paused and asked the second elder in charge of family intelligence, "Second brother, what's going on recently?" The second elder replied, "Master, nothing big happened. It's just that today the family secretly cultivated a low-ranking gang and all the top officials were killed in one day." Tang Jintian didn't even raise his eyelids. This kind of trivial matter was not enough for him to take seriously. He said calmly, "Have you found out who it is?" "A foreigner who doesn't know where he came from, his cultivation level is probably in the early stage of the Golden Core realm." The second elder said. "Kill him after you find out, he's just a foreigner." Tang Jintian said nonchalantly. "Yes." Chapter 5 The War Begins. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Qin Buyi was sitting in the restaurant eating and listening to the conversations of the diners around him. Dang 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 that a group of people came up from the stairs on the second floor. After this group of people came up, they scanned the second floor for a week and went straight to Qin Buyi. Snapped, that a token with a smooth cut surface and broken into two sections with Tang written on it was slammed on the table. Boy, did you do this? The young man at the head said condescendingly. Qin Buyi put down his chopsticks and looked up at the group of 5 people. Before he could speak, the young man behind him said, "Sixth young master, take this piece of garbage and bring it back to the family and torture it to death." The 6th young master nodded after hearing this, and with a wave of his hand, the 4 people behind him surrounded Qin Buyi. The surrounding diners looked at this place curiously, and the sounds of whispering among each other could be heard. Who is this? The most famous dandy in the Tang family is unlucky. Last time, the 6th young master of the Tang dynasty molested the Wang family's apple in the street. Afterwards, the head of the Tang family personally went to the Wang family to apologize. I also know this. The head of the Tang family has given up on this matter until he gives up a few shops. Didn't Mr. Tang Lu get imprisoned by his father because of this matter? He became restless as soon as he was released. The 4 people who surrounded him were in the eye of exploration, 2 were foundation builders, and 2 were in the early stage of golden elixir. The cultivation level of the 6th young master Tang in front of him has reached the middle stage of golden core. Qin Buyi slowly said, "The Tang family arrived earlier than I expected. I have been waiting for you for a long time. Boy, just go with us and save yourself the pain. If you resist, then." The voice did not fall. Chong, drawing out the killing blade that emitted cold light, the sharp blade slashed across the throats of the 4 people. Clang! Tsang, that the 2 golden elixirs reacted early and drew out their weapons in time to block Qin Buyi's attack. Laugh, that the 2 whose cultivation base was only foundation establishment were not so lucky, and blood gushed out from their throats like a fountain. Boy, how dare you kill someone in front of me? Mr. Tang Lu said in a shocked and angry tone. When Qin Buyi heard what Mr. Tang's 6th master said, he looked at Mr. Tang's 6th master with calm eyes. Bang bang that the 6th son of Tang dynasty was inexplicably frightened by Qin Buyi's look, and then he remembered that his father had used elixirs to advance to the middle stage of Jindan. He suddenly felt confident in his weak heart, and forced himself to show a stern voice and said, "Today is the day you die." Qin Buyi said calmly, "You talk too much nonsense." Killing sword technique slaughter. The killing blade vibrated at high speed, and an evil and bloodthirsty aura came from the blade. Be careful. Mr. Tang Lu reminded. Bang! Bang! 2 headless bodies fell to the ground. In just a few words, all 4 people brought by Mr. Tang Lu were killed. The battle was so fast that many diners smelled the strong smell of blood before they could figure out what was happening. Who is this? Do you dare to kill anyone from the Tang family? I recognize who he is. He is the ruthless man who destroyed the Zhuolong gang before. How can the Zhuolong gang compare with the Tang family? He caused a big trouble. Sure enough, such a person is not in his right mind. You should stay away from him. The noisy sound did not affect Qin Buyi. Qin Buyi shook off the blood on the knife and pointed the tip of the knife directly at the 6th son of Tang dynasty. The emotionless voice said, "They're dead, now it's your turn." What? The screams of Mr. Tang Lu came out. As a playboy who grew up in a greenhouse, he had never seen such a visually shocking and bloody scene. It was obvious that Qin Buyi's simple, brutal and bloody killing method greatly frightened the 6th master of Tang dynasty. Don't come here. The 6th master of Tang dynasty shivered and took out his weapon, a dagger, from the space ring. The dagger in his hand was trembling, and young master Tang Lu slowly backed up, like a young lady being bullied. Qin Buyi looked at Mr. Tang Lu who was behaving so badly in front of him and couldn't help but shake his head. The next second. Laugh, the blade passed through the heart of Mr. Tang Lu, and the vibration of the blade shattered the heart. After retracting the killing blade, Tang Liugong's body fell to the ground. At the last moment before his death, he couldn't figure out why this happened. he was originally in solitary confinement, but when he found out that someone was provoking the Tang family and that the other party was at the golden core level, he begged the second elder to let him handle the matter and make up for it once. I expected this to be a very easy thing, with my own cultivation strength being more than enough, but why was I the one who died? Ding! The host has become completely hostile to the Tang family, and the war mission has begun. War mission: no external forces are allowed to destroy the Tang family within 3 months. Failure to do so will obliterate them. Task reward: each time you kill an important figure of the Tang family, you will be rewarded with 5 attribute points. 20 points from the Tang family destruction reward system mall and a primary Tianhuang body. Note: a war waged by one person against a group of people, let the enemy tremble in fear. Qin Buyi looked around and saw the diner's evasive eyes, so he walked downstairs without saying anything. The waiter lowered his head and looked at his feet unnaturally. How many spirit stones? Qin Buyi stepped forward and said. What? The waiter was startled when he saw Qin Buyi approaching. How much is this meal? 5 low-grade spiritual stones. The waiter said in a low voice. Thanks to Qin Buyi's increased strength, his ear strength also increased, otherwise he would really not be able to hear. He took out 5 spiritual stones from the storage space and handed them to the waiter before leaving the restaurant. After Qin Buyi left, all the diners breathed a sigh of relief. This man is not a good person. Everyone knows what happened on the second floor just now, and no one wants to provoke this ruthless man who dares to kill the 6th son of the Tang family. This madman actually dares to kill Mr. Tang's 6th. If you offend the Tang family, I bet this kid won't survive tomorrow. Tomorrow? I probably won't survive even an hour. The waiter stammered and said to the shopkeeper, "Shopkeeper, what should I do upstairs?" That the shopkeeper is now one of the top 2, and Tang's 6th master is dead to him, but he is unable to catch the murderer. Snapped. A hard slap hit the waiter on the face, and the shopkeeper said with a gloomy face, "What should I do? I want to know what to do too." After a while, the shopkeeper sighed and said, "Don't destroy the scene upstairs. Go and notify the Tang family." Inside the Tang family, the 6th young master of Tang dynasty and 4 dead bodies were placed in front of the second elder. The second elder's uncertain face showed that he was in a very bad mood. A person who was alive just now turned into a dead corpse in the blink of an eye. The second elder murmured, "Now we are in trouble." Mr. Tang Lu was still in solitary confinement, but he was the one who let him out. I originally thought there was no danger in this matter, but I didn't expect that he was killed. Now he is in trouble. Dang dang dang! There was a sound of footsteps outside the door, and Tang Jintian, the head of the Tang family, walked in from the door. Looking at the dead Tang's 6th young master, Tang Jintian asked with anger in his eyes, "Give me an explanation." The second elder carefully explained the cause of the incident. "Master, I didn't expect this to happen. Please punish me, master." Tang Jintian clenched and opened his fists, then opened and clenched them again. After repeating this several times, he restrained himself and said, "I don't blame you for this." Tang Jintian had different feelings for his dandy son, the son of his dead and beloved concubine. "Master, what should we do next?" The second elder asked cautiously. "Let that restaurant disappear forever in Qingyang City before dawn tomorrow. The boy who killed my son will send Lao Wu to see the dead body." Chapter 6. You are listening at novelfull.audio. After Qin Buyi came out of the restaurant, he was about to find a place to plan his next attack on the Tang family. A man dressed as a butler stood in front of him on the roadside. Qin Buyi placed his right hand on the knife on the handle. Seeing Qin Buyi ready to draw his sword and kill at any moment, the housekeeper's eyelids jumped and he thought in his heart. For such a murderous master, I don't know whether it is a blessing or a curse for the young lady to entertain him. Alas! Seeing Qin Buyi about to draw his sword, the housekeeper quickly put on a smile and said, "Sir, my master has invited me." Without letting down his guard, Qin Buyi said, "Who is your master?" The steward took out a token from his arms, with the word engraved on it, and said, "Master, you will know if you come with me." "A member of the Wang family?" Qin Buyi thought to himself, from the discussion among the diners in the restaurant, we learned that the deceased Tang's sixth prince seemed to have offended the Wang family and was imprisoned for molesting their daughter in the street. Not feeling any hostility from the housekeeper, Qin Buyi thought about his current situation. First they destroyed the Zhilong gang, and just now they killed the sixth young master Tang. It can be said that they are already fighting to the death with the Tang family, not to mention there is still a war mission on their shoulders. It is no longer possible for the two parties to reconcile. After all, I am alone and somewhat weak. If you can establish a relationship with the Wang family at this time, you can use the influence of the Wang family to make your current bad situation a little better. Even if it is not good, you can delay some time to make yourself stronger. Qin Buyi is decisive in killing, and he is not a fool. He only thinks about how to use the resources around him to achieve his goals. Thinking of this, the expression on his face softened. He put down his right hand holding the killing blade and nodded towards the butler. The housekeeper touched the non-existent sweat on his forehead. It was obvious that communicating with such a ruthless person meant a lot of pressure on his heart. Inside the Wang family, there is a courtyard. Except for the servants in the courtyard, two figures, a man and a woman, stood in front of the goldfish pond. The man has sharp eyebrows and starry eyes. He is dressed in a yellow robe and looks noble. The woman has picturesque features, is wearing a plain dress, and her eyes reveal endless tenderness. Third brother, are you also interested in him? The woman asked curiously. Sister Zhiro, when I first came to Qinyang City, I heard that someone had killed Mr. Tang Lu, who molested you last time. Naturally, I wanted to see who had the courage to offend the Tang family. The man smiled with a smile on his face. While the two were chatting, the housekeeper came in from outside the door. Miss, we have been invited and are waiting outside. The housekeeper said respectfully. When Wang Zhiro came to the housekeeper, she said with a slightly reproachful tone, why don't we invite the guests in? If word spreads that the Wang family treats guests like this, they will be laughed at. Miss, I'm going right now. Qin Buyi was wandering around the Wang family's mansion at this time. The entire Wang family's mansion could be seen at a glance. The buildings in the mansion were full of luxury and style. If this were in Blue Star, it would definitely be the leading super wealthy family in Blue Star. Qin Buyi commented in his heart. Please don't blame me for making me wait for a long time. The housekeeper ran over from a distance and said breathlessly. It's okay. Qin Buyi said calmly, every aristocratic family has its own set of rules for treating guests. When you go to other people's territory, you should naturally respect each other's rules. Qin Buyi followed the housekeeper to the courtyard where Wang Zhiro was. When Wang Zhiro saw Qin Buyi, she said with a slight smile in her tone, my little sister Wang Zhiro, this is the first time I met the young master, so I was a little bit negligent. I don't know the young master's name yet, can you tell me? Looking at the woman in front of me, she has an outstanding appearance, exquisite facial features, and gentle watery eyes. People can't help but have an impulse when they see her. Qin Buyi looked at Wang Zhiro and was stunned for a moment, then came back to his senses and no longer paid attention to Wang Zhiro's appearance. At the same time, she suddenly understood why the sixth son of the Tang family would tease her in the street. The moment he saw Wang Zhiro, he knew who the person who invited him over was. Qin Buyi said, Qin Buyi, why did you invite me here? I asked you to come here because I want to thank you in person for killing that scumbag Tang Lu. I have always been worried about this matter in my heart. My little sister was born unable to practice due to physical reasons. If Mr. Qin hadn't killed him, I don't know when I would have let out this bad breath. The knot that had been bothering her for so long was lifted. Wang Zhiro was obviously in a good mood and said with a hint of joy in her tone. After a pause, Wang Zhiro sighed and said, Mr. Qin is making a joke. Let me introduce you to the young master. This is Mr. Huang from the imperial capital. Master Qin, just call me Huang San. Huang San said with a smile on his face. Don't just stand there stupidly, the banquet has been prepared, please come over here. The two of them followed Wang Zhiro to the pavilion in the courtyard. The center of the pavilion was filled with various dishes. The three of them sat down, and Huang San was the first to speak. Master Qin, you have caused big trouble for the Tang family. What are you going to do next? Qin Buyi said calmly, the soldiers will stop us, and the water will cover us. Ha, how heroic. I'd like to toast Brother Qin. Huang San raised his glass and drank it down. Stop talking and just eat the vegetables. This is monster meat unique to the Luoxing Mountains outside Qinyang City. It's very rare. Wang Zhiro said. After a meal, the host and guests enjoyed themselves. During the chat between the three of them, Huang San and Wang Zhiro were mostly talking. Qin Buyi, who had just arrived, got a lot of useful information from the two of them. Qinyang City is controlled by three major forces, headed by the forces of the city lord's mansion. They have absolute say in Qinyang City. Next is the Wang family. The Wang family has lived in Qinyang City for generations and seems to be inextricably linked to the imperial capital. The attitude of the Wang family must be treated with caution even by the city lord's palace. Finally, there is the Tang family, which suddenly moved out as a branch from the imperial capital Tang family 300 years ago, and seems to have been looking for something. After drinking and eating, Huang San and Wang Zhiro personally escorted Qin Buyi to the gate of the palace. Wang Zhiro took out a small box from her arms and handed it to Qin Buyi and said, my little sister has nothing to offer. Here are 500 middle-grade spiritual stones. Please accept them. You must be careful of the Tang family's revenge. Qin Buyi didn't reach out to pick it up immediately, but looked at Wang Zhiro. Seeing Wang Zhiro's firm attitude, Qin Buyi took the box and said, thank you. Huang San then took out a jade token in the shape of a dragon, handed it to Qin Buyi and said, if Brother Qin encounters a life-or-death crisis one day, taking out this token may save Brother Qin's life. Qin Buyi looked at the jade plaque and asked doubtfully, why do you want to help me? Huang San smiled and said, haha, maybe one day in the future I will also need Brother Qin's help. Wang Zhiro said from the side, Master Qin, just keep it. I'm jealous of third brother's jade girl. Upon hearing this, Qin Buyi took the jade token and said to the two of them, thank you for the hospitality and say goodbye. After Qin Buyi left, Wang Zhiro said to Huang San, third brother, you value him too much. You even gave him a jade plaque. Huang San looked at the moonlight in the sky and said with helplessness in his voice, the situation is getting worse and worse for me now. I came to Qinyang City this time just to relax. If I stay in the center of the whirlpool for a long time, I will go crazy. If one day he can really help me, a mere jade plaque won't mean anything. I have a very good eye for people. If this person doesn't die, little Qinyang City won't be able to keep him. Those things mentioned earlier are actually not very important. The most important thing is that he vented his anger on Sister Zhiro. This is why I helped him. After Huang San finished speaking, Wang Zhiro said in a gentle tone, it's cold outside, let's go back. Fifth Master, people are out. Huh? Are you out yet? A sleepy middle-aged man wiped the drool from the corner of his mouth. It seemed that he was not awake yet. Standing up and stretching, the big man said, this guy made it easy for me to wait, from the afternoon until the evening. Hey, if you dare to kill my Tang family, be prepared to die. Fifth Master, this boy came out of the Wang family so late. Maybe the Wang family is behind this matter. Wang family? So what about the Wang family? Sooner or later they will be dealt with too. Go. Kill that kid and go back to deliver the report. Qin Buyi never let down his guard after coming out of the Wang family. He didn't believe that the Tang family would let him go so easily. Sure enough, he was surrounded by people just after walking 2 streets. Kid, die. Tang Wuye held the mountain-breaking axe in his hand and launched the offensive from a high position. Chapter 7 Fighting in the Rainy Night. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chong. Qin Buyi instantly drew out his killing blade and held the blade in front of him. Clang. A huge force came from the blade, and Qin Buyi took 2 steps back to remove most of the force, opening the exploration eye. A total of 8 people are all in the Golden Core realm, 4 in the early stage, 3 in the mid stage, and 1 in the late stage. The Tang family sent such a lineup obviously to kill them with one blow. Hey, boy, you are quite resistant. It's just a golden elixir in the early stage. Let's see how you can escape from our encirclement. Tang Wuye said confidently. Escape? Why are you running away? Qin Buyi looked at Tang Wuye with a bloodthirsty smile. Boom! Suddenly there was thunder and raindrops fell from the sky and soon turned into a downpour. Second form of the killing sword technique, punishment. The second killing sword technique is a group attack move. Since the killing sword technique broke through to the second level, I have never found a suitable opportunity to use it. The blade exuded a cold light in the rainy night, and the killing blade slashed in front of Qin Buyi like a waning moon. This sword technique shrouded all 8 people in the waning moon. Dang! 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 The sound of weapons clashing was heard in the dark night. Crack! The first one. Qin Buyi said, a golden elixir early stage weapon was roughly cut off by a killing blade, and the blade cut across the head mercilessly. Laugh. What? The other mid-stage Jindan was unable to dodge, and in a hurry, the arm holding the weapon was cut off by Qi Zhen. Cold sweat instantly filled his body, and his painful screams made people's skin crawl. No. Hi! In another early stage of the golden elixir, Qin Buyi broke through the defense with a killing blade. The tip of the knife pierced the heart, and the vibration of the blade instantly shattered the heart. The second one. Qin Buyi said without any emotion. Clang! He opened the early stage Jindan weapon in front of him, and the killing blade diagonally split the body of the early stage Jindan in front of him in 2 from top to bottom. The third. Chong! Chong! After a round of attacks, 3 of the 8 golden elixir realms died and 1 was seriously injured. Except for Tang Wuye, those 3 were also stained. Boy, I want you to die. Tang Wuye looked at the 3 corpses in front of him, as if there was a fire burning in his chest. The mountain climbing axe struck Qin Buyi hard. This time, Qin Buyi did not choose to fight hard and skillfully pushed the mountain climbing axe away. Bypassing Tang Wuye, he launched a second round of offensive against the 4 people who were still alive. Boy, this man is standing upright, don't run away. Tang Wuye said angrily. Qin Buyi looked at Tang Wuye coldly and said 2 words, idiot. You, Boy, I swear you won't be a human until I kill you. Tang Wuye's angry voice spread throughout the street. Killing sword technique slaughter. The killing blade vibrated at high speed, and Qin Buyi was the first to attack the seriously injured middle stage golden core. Chong! Jindan barely blocked it in the middle stage. Looking at Qin Buyi, who looked like a demon in front of him, his inner defense was broken and he shouted in fear. Fifth Master, save me, save. Before the words were spoken, the head fell to the ground. Qin Buyi turned around and said jokingly to Master Tang Wu, the 4th one. Ah! Hateful, hateful. Speed is not what Tang Wuye is good at. On the contrary, it is Tang Wuye's shortcoming. If he can't catch up, he can only watch Qin Buyi kill people in front of him. Killing sword technique extermination. The killing blade attacked like a waning moon, enveloping the 3 people in front of Qin Buyi. Ah! I'm not reconciled. Laugh. The 5th, the blade sliced across, and the blood from his throat gushes out like a fountain. No, don't come here. Laugh. 6th, the killing blade pierced the opponent's heart, and the blade vibrated and shattered the heart. 5th Master, save me, 5th Master, save me. Don't kill me. Laugh. The 7th, Qin Buyi killed the last person in front of him and shook off the blood on the knife. Turning around, the tip of the knife pointed directly at Tang Wuye and said, they are all dead, now it's your turn. The strong smell of blood filled the whole street, and Tang Wuye said with red eyes, boy, I will definitely torture you to death. Chong! Qin Buyi stepped on the ground with his toes and quickly approached Tang Wuye. Clang! The first attack was blocked, and Qin Buyi showed no signs of surprise. It would be surprising if Tang Wuye, who was in the late stage of Jindan, didn't have this ability. Killing sword technique slaughter. The tip of the knife pointed directly at Tang Wuye's heart, and the mountain axe lay across Tang Wuye's chest. The killing blade in mid-air suddenly changed its direction and slashed towards the middle of Tang Wuye's legs. Tang Wuye did not expect such a situation, so he quickly took a few steps back, narrowly avoiding the attack. What a vicious move! Boy, do you only know these unflattering methods? Tang Wuye shouted. Qin Buyi looked at Mr. Tang Wu silently without saying anything. Tang Wuye read 2 words from Qin Buyi's eyes: idiot. Ah! I'm so angry. Boy, I'm going to cut you into pieces. Mountain opening axe. The mountain opening axe, which was already very offensive, now took on a new level, enveloping Qin Buyi. The mountain axe struck down heavily, and Qin Buyi could not avoid it. Killing sword technique, slaughter. Killing sword technique, slaughter. Killing sword technique, slaughter. Qin Buyi's face turned pale after using the killing knife technique 3 times in a short period of time. Clang! 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 The killing blade vibrated at high speed and struck accurately 3 times in a row in the middle of the mountain axe. The mountain cutting axe aimed at Qin Buyi was forced to change its attack route. The mountain breaking axe brushed Qin Buyi's body with fierce wind pressure and slashed to the ground. Boom! Dust and gravel flew everywhere, and a large pit about 1 foot deep appeared next to Qin Buyi. Taking advantage of the time when Tang Wuye pulled out the mountain cutting axe from the pit, Qin Buyi launched an offensive. Killing sword technique, slaughter. The sharp blade slashed Tang Wuye's throat. The only way Tang Wuye wanted to avoid getting hurt now was to throw away the mountain axe in his hand, but losing the weapon in such a fierce battle was tantamount to announcing death in advance. In desperation, Tang Wuye let out a roar, avoiding the vital points as much as possible to minimize the damage to his body. Laugh! The killing blade slashed across Master Tang Wu's back, leaving a deep wound visible to the bone. Hiss! The pain spread to Tang Wuye's mind, and he grimaced in pain. Killing sword technique, slaughter. Qin Buyi's offensive did not stop because of this. Giving the enemy time to breathe was no different from committing suicide. Tang Wuye pulled out his mountain axe and started fighting with Qin Buyi. Clang! Clang! Hey! Hey! After a dozen rounds, there was a wound on Tang Wuye's chest that penetrated his chest. Qin Buyi had 3 axe wounds on his back where blood could not stop flowing out. Mountain axe sweep. Tang Wuye took the lead in launching the offensive, sweeping the huge mountain opening axe in front of Qin Buyi. Who? The sound of the mountain opening axe passed by Qin Buyi's ears dangerously. Looking at the hair falling from his ears, Qin Buyi's expression did not change. Before Tang Wuye's offensive was over, he stepped forward with a killing blade in his hand. Laugh! The killing blade pierced Tang Wuye's shoulder. The fierce fighting, hovering on the edge of death, and dying if you don't pay attention, this feeling stimulated Qin Buyi's senses. Boom! There was loud thunder in the sky, and streaks of lightning danced in the sky like silver dragons. What no one noticed was that a black-red streak appeared in the center of the snow-white killing blade, slowly spreading to the surrounding areas. A flash of black and red also appeared in the deepest part of Qin Buyi's pupils, and a bloodthirsty and crazy smile appeared at the corner of his mouth. The only thought that comes to mind right now is to kill the other party. Killing sword technique, slaughter. Clang! After the mountain-breaking axe blocked the attack, Qin Buyi began to attack crazily. Killing sword technique, slaughter. Slaughter, slaughter, slaughter. Dang! 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 Tang Wuye was tired of defense at this time and cursed secretly in his heart. Damn, is this kid crazy? How can he get so much physical strength? Clang! 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 Qin Buyi's crazy attacks were extremely powerful and frequent. Tang Wuye's arm was already numb from the shock. Clang! Clang! The numbed arm could no longer hold the mountain axe, and the mountain axe was knocked away by the huge force brought by the killing blade. Laugh! The next moment, the blade slashed across Tang Wuye's throat. Boom! The body fell to the ground, and blood mixed with rain flowed on the ground. After the death of Lord Tang Wu, Qin Buyi gradually woke up from his madness and bloodlust and exhaled a long breath. A small part of the killing blade that had turned into black and red was restored to its original appearance quietly when Qin Buyi woke up. Qin Buyi's pupils, which had partly turned black and red, quietly returned to normal. Chapter 8 brings some big action. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Ding, for killing Tang Wuye, one of the important figures of the Tang family, the reward of 5 attribute points has been distributed. Qin Buyi added the obtained 5 attributes to his cultivation base and opened the personal information panel. Name, Qin Buyi, cultivation level, 2nd level, middle stage of golden elixir, 2450, power, 24. Speed, 24. Stamina, 24. Attack, 24. Defense, 24. Luck, 24. Killing blade level 24, 50/dash, attack, 24. Killing sword technique level 24, 50/dash, attack, 24. Qin Buyi took away the 8 golden elixir realm space rings and Tang Wuye's mountain opening axe that were dead on the ground, and left the scene. After Qin Buyi left, a figure emerged from the center of the street. If Qin Buyi were there, he would definitely recognize it. It was Huang San, who they had just eaten with. Papa Huang San clapped his hands. Wonderful, really wonderful. But what is that in the end? Even I have to be wary of murderous intent. It seems that Brother Qin has many secrets. Huang San looked at Qin Buyi's departure direction with a playful look on his face and muttered to himself. Inside the Tang family, the second elder listened to the report from his men and looked at the 8 corpses in front of him with different forms of death. Boom! Unable to control the anger in his heart, he grabbed the vase beside him and smashed it to the ground. Trash, all rubbish. Trash that can't even kill a golden elixir in the early stage. The second elder said angrily. Tang Jintian walked out with a gloomy face and walked in. He looked at the corpse on the ground and said with no emotion in his tone, even the 5th child is dead. The second elder trembled subconsciously when he saw Tang Jintian's appearance. Master, go home, die. Okay, I get it now. The expression on Tang Jintian's face did not change at all and he turned to leave. Something big is going to happen. The second elder now hates Qin Buyi. After the death of the 6th young Master Tang and the death of the 5th Master Tang, it is estimated that Tang Jintian's anger will be vented on himself in the end. After Tang Jintian walked out of Tang's house, his body slowly rose into the air, getting faster and faster. Flying is an important feature of the nascent soul realm. Practitioners who break through to the nascent soul realm will have preliminary flying abilities. Tang Jintian rose into the sky and flew straight towards Qin Buyi, when he was less than half the distance from Qin Buyi. Master Tang, are you going out so elegantly so late at night? Why don't we sit down and have a cup of tea together? A gentle voice sounded in Tang Jintian's ears. Tang Jintian looked at the figure standing in the air in front of him and said in a bad tone. Wang Zong, are you sure you want to stop me? As far as I know, that kid has nothing to do with your Wang family. Wang Zong said calmly, I don't want to get involved in this matter, but I can't help but my little daughter begged me. She said she didn't want this kid to die like this. After hearing this, Tang Jintian burst into laughter and said, Wang Zong, you, an old fox, would stop me for this reason? Do you think I am a 3-year-old child? Wang Zong sighed leisurely, I know he can't be fooled. To tell you the truth, some people don't want him to die. After speaking, Wang Zong stretched out 3 fingers and shook them. Tang Jintian saw Wang Zong's gesture and thought of something, and he asked with a strong aura, he's here. Wang Zong nodded and said, you guessed it right, go back. If you offend him, today will be your anniversary next year. Tang Jintian turned around and left without saying a word. Wang Zong couldn't help but said, I've offended others, and I've offended others again. City Lord's mansion. After leaving, Tang Jintian did not return to the Tang family, but came to the City Lord's mansion to meet the City Lord Nan Tianlong. City Lord, this is what happened. My son was killed, and my clansman Tang Wuye was also killed by this man. Please ask the City Lord to send someone to kill this son. Nan Tianlong touched his long beard and said, you can solve this matter yourself. Why come to me? Tang Jintian trembled when he thought of a certain person, and said, according to the rules of the dynasty, civilians who attack aristocratic families should be beheaded. The city lord, please enforce the law impartially. Nan Tianlong waved his hand and said, okay, you can go back, I will handle this matter myself. Tang Zhentian also guessed a thing or two from Nan Tianlong's performance. He had no hope for the result and left with a bad look on his face. After Tang Zhentian left, a person walked out from the screen behind the city lord's mansion, and it was Huang San. The city lord said to Huang San respectfully, young master, how should we deal with this matter? Huang San said nonchalantly, don't pay attention, I'll take care of it if anything happens. Tang Zhentian suppressed his anger and returned to the Tang family. He called the second elder and said, call the seventh elder and tell him not to go into seclusion. Let the third, fourth and seventh elders kill this kid. The second elder looked shocked and said, isn't this a bit too grand? The Tang family's 3 masters have not been out in groups for 10 years. Tang Zhentian said impatiently, let's make arrangements. I will see that kid's head within 3 days. After Qin Buyi left, he simply bandaged the injury. Taking advantage of the night, he wanted to stimulate the Tang family's nerves again. Based on the information obtained from Wang Jiro, Qin Buyi easily found the location of the Tang family's property store in Qingyang City. Outside a brothel, Qin Buyi kicked in the door with a killing blade in his hand. The woman in the brothel was startled by the man who kicked in the door and came in filled with the smell of blood. The old bastard came forward with a bad look on his face. Master, if we don't have a reasonable explanation today, I'm afraid you won't be able to get out alive. Laugh. The blade cut open the old bastard's throat. Qin Buyi looked at the old bastard's body and said, is this explanation reasonable enough? The frightened screams of the women echoed throughout the brothel. The doors upstairs opened one by one, and disheveled men walked out one after another, shouting at the people downstairs, what are you calling, you're going to die. Qin Buyi casually pulled off the hairpin of the woman in front of him. Whoosh! The hairpin grazed the face of a man upstairs like a sharp arrow. The man looked at the 3-pointed hairpin, and cold sweat broke out from his back. He couldn't help but swallow and smear it. If this thing had penetrated his body just now, he would not have dared to notice it. Who dares to cause trouble on my territory? A man with a scarred face, followed by more than 20 younger brothers, appeared in front of Qin Buyi. Through the exploratory eyes, it can be seen that Scarface's cultivation level is in the late stage of the golden core, which is not as high as Tang Wuyi's. He should have just broken through the late stage of the golden core. As for the younger brothers behind him, they have not even reached the golden core realm. Seeing that Qin Buyi didn't speak, the younger brothers behind Scarface surrounded Qin Buyi. Then these younger brothers were as attentive as chickens and ducks and said, Master Ba, this little bastard will be solved by the brothers without you having to do anything. You little bastard, you didn't even look at the underworld when you came to cause trouble. How dare you come to the 8th master's territory? You bitch, if you kneel down and admit your mistake to Master Ba now, you can still get the whole body. The noisy sound in his ears was like a duck quacking. Qin Buyi stretched out 3 fingers and said, I will give you 3 seconds to disappear before my eyes. Hey guys, he's giving us 3 seconds to disappear. 3. Don't laugh to death. This is the biggest joke I've heard this year. 2. Hey, I'm so scared. It scared me to death. Ha ha ha. 1. Chong. Pull out the killing blade. Killing sword technique extermination. The waning moonlight killing blade enveloped the 8th master and all his younger brothers in front of him. Not good. In the middle stage of golden core, be careful. It wasn't until Qin Buyi took action that Master Ba realized Qin Buyi's state. Chick. 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 Chi. The waning moon dispersed, and except for Master Ba, who was still standing intact on the spot, the younger brothers who had been shouting just now were all dead without exception. The commotion just now had alarmed the guests in the brothel and they all walked out of the room. But when they walked out of the room, they saw Qin Buyi killing more than 20 people with a sword. Ordinary people have never seen such a visually shocking scene. The timid ones were so frightened that they peed their pants, the bold ones were so frightened that they turned pale, and even more people vomited out. After a brief period of silence, the brothel fell into a huge panic. The pungent smell of blood is accompanied by cries, screams, footsteps, Qin Buyi stood in a pool of blood, like a demon walking out of hell, scanning the panicked crowd. The various voices gradually became quiet, and everyone looked at Qin Buyi in fear. The woman who couldn't restrain herself from crying tightly covered her mouth with her hands, lest she make any sound and cause trouble for herself. Qin Buyi looked at Master Ba and said calmly, "It's time for you to die." "It's ridiculous, you want to kill me?" Master Ba said with a mocking look. "Oh, there was once someone who didn't believe it like you. He seemed to be called Fifth Master. Do you know him?" Qin Buyi said in an unhurried tone. Killing sword technique slaughter. Qin Buyi took the lead in launching the offensive, and Master Ba drew a soft sword from his waist. Chong! 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 The swords collided and sparks flew. After a few rounds, Ba Ye's soft sword was full of gaps. On the other hand, the killing blade had a cold light on its blade, and there wasn't even a single flaw on the blade. Dang dang, after more than 10 rounds, the killing blade pierced Ba Ye's throat. Boom! Ba Ye's body fell to the ground. At the end of his consciousness, he heard Qin Buyi's voice. "From the look in your eyes, it seems that you know that Fifth Master. You should just go down and accompany him." Ding! Kill Tang Bei, one of the important figures of the Tang family, and the reward of 5 attribute points has been distributed. After adding the rewarded attribute points to his cultivation level, he picked up Ba Ye's space ring, looked at the people in the brothel who had been frightened into silence, and said, "Why haven't you left yet?" After hearing this, the group of people fled as if they were receiving amnesty. In less than half an hour, everyone in the brothel disappeared. Qin Buyi found torches and oil, and lit the entire brothel on fire. Looking at the brothel with billowing smoke, Qin Buyi turned and left. The same thing is happening all over Qingyang City. This night is destined to be unrest. Chapter 9. You are listening at novelfull.audio. After killing Tang Bei, open the personal information panel. Name, Qin Buyi, cultivation level, 2nd level, middle stage of golden elixir, 29/50, power, 29. Speed, 29. Stamina, 29. Attack, 29. Defense, 29. Luck, 29. Killing blade level 29, 50/, attack, 29. Killing sword technique, level 29, 50/, attack, 29. Inside the Tang family, the reports piled up into a small mountain on the table, and Tang Jintian's eyes were as if they were about to burst into flames. Family head, after calculation, our property losses in Qingyang City were as high as 1/3 overnight, and there were hundreds of casualties. The second elder stood aside and said, Damn it, damn it. Tang Jintian gritted his teeth. Snapped, a valuable vase was smashed to the ground and shattered. Master, according to the report of the spies we arranged in the Wang family, this boy's name is Qin Buyi. His origin and background are unknown. It's like he appeared out of thin air. Tang Jintian muttered, Qin Buyi, Qin Buyi. In the streets and alleys of Qingyang City, everyone from the dying old man to the women and children on the street were talking about one thing. Last night, nearly 1/3 of the Tang family's brothel, casino, pawn shop and other assets were burned down overnight. It seems that the Tang family has offended some big shot this time. Otherwise, how could they be retaliated like this? Big shot? I don't think so. It is said that the cause of the incident was that a young man killed young Master Lu of the Tang family in a restaurant. The Tang family sent people to surround and kill this man last night. You didn't see the scene. Even the 5th master of the Tang family was killed. When I passed that street this morning, I could still smell the strong smell of blood. Inside the royal family, Wang Zong looked at the information on the table and was silent for a long time. After a long time, he smiled bitterly. This kid is too troublemaking. I blocked Tang Jintian yesterday. Now I have offended the Tang family. After Qin Buyi finished destroying it, he had left Qingyang City and returned to the Luoxing Mountains before dawn. The Tang family has accumulated so many years of business experience, and if they cheat the other party and stay in Qingyang City, they are simply asking for death. After eating some hastily, Qin Buyi squatted on the only way into the Sunset Mountains and waiting until the afternoon. 3 people appeared in sight. With the exploratory eye, I learned that 2 golden elixirs are in the late stage and 1 is perfect. Each of those 2 golden elixirs are much stronger than Tang Wuye in the later stage. After killing Tang Wuye and Tang Bei, a total of 10 attribute points were obtained. Qin Buyi, whose strength has greatly increased, is now fully confident that he will not be defeated with 1 against 3, but it is difficult to kill the opponent. A battle plan gradually formed in my mind. Qin Buyi held his breath, holding the killing blade in his hand, and waited quietly for the 3 of them to approach. Third brother, according to what the spies said, that kid escaped into the Falling Star Mountains. The one-eyed 4th Master Tang said to the 3rd Master Tang, who had only 1 right arm left beside him. Mr. Tang-san replied, "That boy is good at running. It's so painful for us 3 brothers that we have to make this trip." Tang Chia, who was walking at the back of the 3 of them, said with slightly closed eyes, "Be careful, there's something weird about that kid. I've checked the body of 5th brother. And judging from the traces of the fight at the scene, that kid's weapon is absolutely extraordinary. Strength, speed, physical strength, etc. are all outstanding. If an enemy like this is not careful, it will capsize." 4th Master Tang curled his lips and said with a nonchalant look on his face, "7th brother, it's not as serious as you said. How can a mere golden elixir be used in the early stage?" That's right, that's right. Tang San echoed from the side. 4th brother, do you remember how you became blind? 3rd brother, do you remember how your arm was broken? Tang Chia was a little dissatisfied with the 2 people's careless attitude and said. The 3rd and 4th Masters Tang, whose scars were uncovered, recalled the past. Although the expression on his face was more serious, his inner attitude did not change much. Tang Chia shook his head and stopped talking. Qin Buyi watched the 3 people getting closer and closer to the attack range, counting silently in his heart. 3, 2, 1. Chong. 4th, be careful. 4th brother, be careful. Tang San and Tang Chia shouted at the same time. The killing sword technique, slaughter. The blade of the killing blade revealed a hint of green in the sunlight, and it vibrated at high speed and slashed towards 4th Master Tang, the weakest of the 3. In his haste, 4th Master Tang had no time to take out his weapons. A donkey rolled on the spot to avoid the vital point, and the killing blade slashed at 4th Master Tang's back. Laugh. There was a scar on the back that was deep enough to show the bone. After Qin Buyi hit the target with 1 blow, he turned around and ran towards the Luo Xing mountain range. "You little bastard, stop!" Tang San roared angrily. 4th brother, how are you? Tang Chia asked. Haha. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Being bitten by a mosquito can be a big deal. 4th Master Tang said calmly despite a cold sweat. "This damn little bastard, if I catch him, I will cut him into pieces." Mr. Tang San said with hatred through gritted teeth. After 4th Master Tang simply bandaged the wound, he said to the 2 of them, chasing, "If I catch this little bastard, I will cut off all the flesh on his body piece by piece." Standing on a big tree, Qin Buyi looked at the 3 men who were chasing after their wounds and said in a mocking tone, "Idiots, die in despair and pain." Into the night. That night, Qin Buyi was like a ghost, always able to catch the 3 of them by surprise. He never fought, and ran away after a sneak attack, which made the 3 people of the Tang family very angry. "What the hell, you little bastard, why are you so sinister?" Mr. Tang couldn't help but curse. "Every water source we passed along the way was poisoned." Tang Chia took out a silver needle from the water with the upper half shining silver and the lower half pitch black. Dawn the next day, the 3 members of the Tang family were hungry, tired, thirsty, and sleepy. This night they not only had to be wary of all kinds of poisonous insects and beasts in the Luoxing Mountains, what's more important is that there is a Qin Buyi hidden in the secret who will attack at any time. The 3 people did not dare to take it lightly, and their spirits were always tense. "Third brother, is there still water in your space ring?" 4th Master Tang said with an abnormal white color on his face. "It's gone. I thought this mission was within reach, but I didn't make any preparations. Mr. Tang San said with a somewhat regretful expression. I still have a little food and water here, just enough to last until tonight. Tang Chia's voice came from the front. Qin Buyi secretly observed the three of them and thought to himself, it should be almost time. Fourth Master Tang, who was walking behind the team, spat out a mouthful of blood. The red blood was mixed with green. Fourth brother, what's wrong with you? Mr. Tang San said in a somewhat anxious tone. Cough, cough. I may have been poisoned. Fourth Master Tang's voice showed weakness. Poisoned? When could it be? Tang Chia, who was at the front of the team, walked up to Tang Fourth Master, tore off the bandages on Tang Fourth Master's body, and the wound on his back that was slashed by the killing blade turned green. Good means, really good means. The boat capsized in the gutter, cough cough. Fourth Master Tang said with mixed feelings in his tone. When the three of them focused their attention on Fourth Master Tang, Qin Buyi launched an offensive. Chong! The killing sword technique, Ziju, that the killing blade shrouded the three of them like a waning moon. Tang Sanya and Tang Chia protected behind them. Tang Sai, whose combat effectiveness was seriously reduced, the two of them focused their attention on Qin Buyi's attack, fearing that the killing blade would strike them and end up like Fourth Master Tang. Speaking of poison, we have to thank the Tang family. Qin Buyi plundered it from a pawn shop of the Tang family. It can be said that wool comes from sheep. The killing blade offensive pretended to focus on attacking the Fourth Master Tang, who was already poisoned, but in fact the target was the Third Master Tang on the side. Death! Qin Buyi shouted. The killing blade slashed towards Fourth Master Tang. Fourth brother, be careful. Tang San held a long sword in one arm and tried to block the killing blade's attack. Unexpectedly, the killing blade changed direction midway and attacked Tang San. Laugh! The blade cut open a 3-foot-long wound on Tang San's arm without mercy. With one successful blow, Qin Buyi stopped fighting and turned around to leave. By the way, I've smeared poison on the blade, so I wish you good luck. Qin Buyi's voice came from far away. Third brother, is what he said true? Tang Chia asked. I don't know, but... The Third Master Tang looked at the Fourth Master Tang, who had passed out after being poisoned, and his heart fell into a war between heaven and man. Chapter 10 Despair from the Golden Core Realm. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Mr. Tang wanted to bet that there was no poison on the blade, but he only has one life, and if he loses the bet, he can't afford to lose. Thoughts were surging in his mind. After a long time, he made a decision, handed the long knife to Tang Chia, and said. Seventh brother, let's do it. Are you sure? Tang Chia said hesitantly. Tang San gritted his teeth and nodded. Shoo! Tang Chia held a long knife and chopped off Tang San's remaining right arm. Hiss! The severed arm fell to the ground, and severe pain spread across Tang San's body. A layer of cold sweat instantly broke over his body. Tang Chia took out medicine from the space ring and applied it to the wound. Qin Buyi watched this scene from a distance. Even if the other party was an enemy, this decisiveness was enough to make him awe, but the enemy is the enemy, and being kind to the enemy is cruel to oneself. Qin Buyi wants to destroy the opponent's heart from the inside out. The surprised tone reached the ears of the three people of the Tang family again. Hey, I just lied to you, the knife is not poisonous. You little bastard, let me catch you, I will make you live and die. Tang San glared in the direction of Qin Buyi. If looks could kill, Qin Buyi would die hundreds or thousands of times under such looks. Withdraw. Tang Chia said in a hoarse voice after some thought. Because he underestimated the enemy, he fell into Qin Buyi's plan from the beginning and was led by the other party's nose. The three of them are now in peak condition, one is poisoned and comatose, the other is seriously injured, and all of them have lost their strength. After a night of tracking, the three of them were led deep into the Luoxing Mountains by Qin Buyi. Looking at the three people retreating, Qin Buyi said in his heart, leave? Can you leave? That when the three of them were in their prime, they were attacked by Qin Buyi until they were physically and mentally exhausted. Now one person was carrying 2 oil bottles, and they were in a very bad situation. The killing sword technique Ziju. Dang. Dang. The killing sword technique Slaughter. Dang. Dang. Along the way, I was annoyed by frequent attacks that came at random times. Tang Chia, who had been in a tense state for a long time and had been calm throughout the whole process, could no longer bear it and roared. Qin Buyi has a frontal attack. What's the point of relying on such shady means to make sneak attacks? Qin Buyi, who was hiding in the dark, said jokingly, "You, the Tang family, have sent 2 late-stage golden elixirs. If 1 golden elixir is perfect, you can be seen. Is that considered a skill?" Tang Chia was choked by Qin Buyi's words and could not speak. He simply stopped opening his mouth and concentrated on guarding against Qin Buyi. At night, the 3 people of the Tang family walked less than a quarter of the distance in one day. Tang Chia looked at the wounds on his body that were gradually turning green, the 4th Master Tang whose lips were white and the air was coming out more than the air coming in, and the 3rd Master Tang who was listless. The injuries on his body were caused while protecting 4th Master Tang and 3rd Master Tang. Along the way, Qin Buyi had many opportunities to kill them. The reason why Qin Buyi didn't do this was that only the 2 living people could attract Tang Chia's attention. Once the 2 of them were killed, Tang Chia would no longer have any worries and could only focus on escaping. Qin Buyi was not sure that he could kill him. "Qin Buyi, let's talk about it. We will hand over all the valuable things we have to you. When we return to the family, we will persuade the head of the family to cancel the pursuit of you. Can you please let my 3 brothers go?" Tang Chia said as sincerely as possible. Qin Buyi ignored Tang Chia. At this moment, silence could put more pressure on the already gradually collapsing spirits of Tang Chia and others. "Qin Buyi, don't bully others too much." After receiving no response for a long time, Tang Chia said in a stern voice. "Do you have to kill them all?" Dawn. At this time, 2 days and 2 nights had passed since the 3 people from the Tang family chased Qin Buyi. Qin Buyi still looked energetic, but on the other hand, the 3 people from the Tang family had scattered eyes, unkempt hair, and bloodshot eyes. "It's time to send them to see the King of Hell." Qin Buyi rubbed the killing blade and whispered. "Chong. The killing sword technique Ziju. Come again." Tang Chia managed to cheer up and prepared to deal with it casually as usual and continue on his way. Clang. Holding the killing blade in his hand and exerting it with all his strength, the huge force was transmitted to Tang Chia. He took a few steps back before completely releasing the force. "Not good." Tang Chia exclaimed. Laugh. The blade of the killing blade slashed across Master Tang's throat, and red and greenish blood spurted out from his throat. Ding. For killing Tang Sai, one of the important figures of the Tang family, the reward of 5 attribute points has been distributed. Laugh. The tip of the knife passed through the heart of Tang San, who was greatly damaged in battle, and the blade vibrated and shattered his heart. Ding. Kill Tang San, one of the important figures of the Tang family, and the reward of 5 attribute points has been distributed. 10 points of attributes were instantly added to his cultivation level, and Qin Buyi launched the final kill. The killing sword technique Slaughter. The killing blade vibrated at high speed and slashed towards Tang Chia. Clang. The weapons collided, and Tang Chia's arm holding the knife was numbed by the huge force. "Impossible, how could your strength suddenly increase so much?" Tang Chia said with a look of disbelief. "Could it be that you have been hiding your cultivation from the beginning?" It's ridiculous, it's ridiculous. We, the Tang family Sanju, haven't been out in a group for 10 years. I didn't expect that 10 years later, we would capsize in the gutter with a young junior. Chong. Chong. Dang. Dang. Crack. There were cracks in the knife in Tang Chia's hand. Snapped. After a few rounds, the knife in Tang Chia's hand was completely shattered. Laugh. The head fell to the ground. Qin Buyi looked at Tang Chia's body and said, "Too much nonsense, the 3 great talents of the Tang family. Do you really think that you are a person?" Ding. For killing Tang Chia, one of the important figures of the Tang family, the reward of 5 attribute points has been distributed. After adding the attribute points, open the personal information panel, name, Qin Buyi, cultivation level, second level, late stage of golden elixir, 4450, power, 44. Speed, 44. Stamina, 44. Attack, 44. Defense, 44. Luck, 44. Killing blade level 44, 50/- attack, 44. Killing sword technique, level 44, 50/- attack, 44. After improving his strength, Qin Buyi is now able to kill all three opponents of the Tang family in a head-on confrontation, even if he encounters a completely victorious one, putting away the three-person space ring. An idea emerged in Qin Buyi's mind. Qinyang City, the residence of the Tang family. At this time, there were many people surrounding the Tang family. Most of them came to watch the joke. 3 heads hang on the door of Tang's house. That's the 4th master of the Tang family. Am I right? And the 3rd and 7th masters of the Tang family, my God. What happened? Who did the Tang family offend? Even the 3 most powerful people of the Tang family are dead. The second elder and his men hurriedly came from the Tang family. Seeing the dead Sanju of the Tang family, his heart thumped. The commander removed the heads of the 3 people, dispersed the crowd of onlookers, and returned to the Tang family's house with a frown and confusion. Qin Buyi hid in the crowd, watching the second elder of the Tang family gradually forming a plan in his mind. The second elder was reporting the situation to Tang Jintian at this time, and he didn't know that he was already being noticed. Qin Buyi, I will cut you into pieces. Tang Jintian clenched his fists and said with hatred. Inside the royal family, Wang Zong looked at the latest information in front of him, and his mood, which had just improved in the past 2 days, suddenly became very bad. Oh, this little ancestor named Qin Buyi is too troublemaking. Wang Zong thought about how long it had been since Qin Buyi came to Qinyang City. First, an unknown gang was eliminated, which was not a big deal, but then he killed the 6th son of the Tang family, the 5th master, and the 8th master of the Tang family. Another 1/3 of the Tang family's property was burned down overnight. Now, the 3rd master, the 4th master, and the 7th master, who are known as the 3 great masters of the Tang family, were killed. After the killing, their heads were hung in the Tang family's mansion. Wang Zong counted on his fingers, excluding the 6th master of the Tang family who died young. The only elders of the Tang family who are still alive now are the 2nd eldest son of the Tang family and Tang Jintian. For some reason, a bold idea came to Wang Zong's mind. It would be perfect if we kill the 2nd son of the Tang family and that old guy Tang Jintian. Thinking of this, Wang Zong was inexplicably excited. Then Wang Zong shook his head and said inwardly, it's impossible. There is a world of difference between the nascent soul realm and the golden core realm. Putting aside his complicated mood, Wang Zong felt that something big was going to happen in Qinyang City. Qin Buyi almost killed most of the top officials of the Tang family, and Tang Jintian would definitely not let it go.